Hello, welcome to Miniature Realms. My name's Stuart, and a big news day for Warhammer the Old World. Let's take a look. I hadn't originally planned to make this video. We knew the LVO reveal was coming today. We've had a Beastman shaped model teased in the last week or so, and High Elves were planned next on the roadmap, and I thought we were going to get High Elves with maybe a little tease for Beastmen in the future, and that is exactly what we've got, and we'll go through that later as well. But we've also had a tease about what's to come later in the year. So unsurprisingly, after Beastmen, we know we've got Wood Elves coming, and then a little blank box for another book, which many people are assuming will be Cathay based on some artwork. But we'll cover that towards the end of the video. So if you haven't seen that little tease, then stick around till then. So let's start with the main topic, the High Elf Realms and what has been revealed. With High Elf Realms becoming the seventh faction now released for Warhammer the Old World, this format is now well trodden ground. We start with a look at the battalion, which has 32 elven spearmen, 32 elven archers, 2 Tyrannoc chariots, which can also be made into the lion chariots of Schrace, and then both infantry options come with enough so you can split your units, you've got enough command options, etc. And you also get a sheet in there of transfers. We also have the Arcane Journal, which is a 48-page booklet, which is an addendum and extra to the standard army list, the grand army list, which you find in the Forces of Fantasy book. There are 2 armies of infamy in there, which are special army lists that give you extra theme. There are some extra restrictions, but also some bonuses as well. And those are for the Thracian Warhost and the Seaguard Garrison. So if you are coming back to Warhammer and you've been waiting for your faction and followed it loosely, that's what these books are. They're not an army book on their own. They are an addition, adding extra stuff to the armies that are in those Forces of Fantasy books. As with the other releases, there's a dice set and a card set on the way as well. It should be worth noting that so far the card sets have only included references relating to the previous Grand Army stuff and the main rulebook, not to do with the extra rules that are in the Arcane Journal. So they're really, really nice to have, but they're not as complete as maybe they could be. There's what looks to be a really bright and colourful new water slide transfer or decal, depending on what part of the world you come from. Sheet is going to be available as well. These tend to sell out quickly based on previous releases, and also they tend to be different from what's included in those battalion boxes, so don't assume this is what you get in there. It's likely to be a different sheet. We won't know till we get the full images. Continuing with the shiny new things, we have new miniatures, and that also tends to be the theme of these releases, usually resin from Forge World resin rather than fine cast. If any of you are returning, it's not that stuff at all. This is really high quality stuff and very, very nice usually. And we have the Lord of Schrace, which I imagine will be a special character to go with the Thracian Army of Infamy. And then we have Ishana Vest, Sentinel of the Silent Isle, again, which I imagine will be a special character that goes with the Seaguard Army of Infamy. We have new Illyrian Reavers, which is a big surprise. We have the lovely Island of Blood set, which was the last time new plastic High Elves were released. And there was lots of speculation all the way through and up into the release of the Old World and beyond about when High Elves came back, would they come back with the Island of Blood releases, and how would that work? Because much of it was shared sprues, shared frames with the Skaven that was in that 2-player starter set. And I don't know why we have new plastic sculpts. I quite liked the older ones, but these look really cool as well. It just seems to be a strange choice, unless they were maybe mixed in too much on those frames and for some reason couldn't be reproduced, and that's why we have the new plastic ones. Pop your theories in the comments below. Either way, we've got new plastic High Elf cavalry, which is really cool. So it's not a negative thing at all, just a little bit surprised we're getting new ones when there are a lot older miniatures in this range. And we have other returning plastic kits as well, as always. So we have the iconic plastic dragon kit, which can be built in different ways. That will be very, very popular. I think it's already quite popular on the tabletops, but it will cost people a little bit less if they don't have to buy it from eBay. We have the Flamespire Phoenix and the Frostheart Phoenix returning as well, and they were plastic kits from the most recent 8th edition High Elf release as well, so they all stand up very well. I remember owning a couple of those. And then we have plastic characters coming back as well, which are lovely kits and will stand up very well. Love the mages, they will be fantastic, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on some of these maybe and doing some painting for the channel. Then we have more Island of Blood releases. This is where something is returning from the Isle of Blood set, and we have the Lothern Sea Guard, and I absolutely love these miniatures. In fact, I may have some on the way already from eBay. Predicting this release was coming, I thought maybe I'd do a painting tutorial for a Lothern Sea Guard, hoping that they would come back. So look out for that one very shortly if you're into your High Elves, but I'm looking forward to them coming back. But we've obviously got other plastic miniatures coming back as well, including the Phoenix Guard, and we have the heavier cavalry as well. So really good things, loads and loads of returning plastics. And of course, there's even more returning plastics, because we got the Sword Masters of Hoeth, who are also in that Island of Blood kit. So it does seem most things seem to have escaped that and made its way into Warhammer, the old world. But we also have the dual purpose kit that was the Sisters of Avalon and the Shadow Warriors as well, which is a lovely kit. And again, pretty modern. I think that they were 8th edition releases, unless my mind is remembering things the wrong way. Then we do have the older Spearman and Archer kits as well, which are a little bit older. The classics, no surprising that those are coming back, because we've seen with all the other releases that some of the older plastics do come back as well. These do show their age a little bit more, but they're definitely classics, and I'm sure many people will be fans of them. If you're building a standard High Elf army, you will need these in your list. I'm sure there will be ways of building mainly Sea Guard based units, and you can focus on the newer plastics as well. And the plastics keep coming. We have the Lothern Sky Cutter, which is essentially a chariot pulled by an eagle, a pretty modern miniature as well, 8th edition miniature anyway, so that will hold up. And we also have the bolt throwers, which are really cool. And then separately later on, you'll be able to get those chariots that are in that battalion set separately. So you've got your 2 builds on it, being with the horses or the Lions of Thrace. Moving on to the metal side of the release, and there's going to be the Handmaiden of the Everqueen and Corhill Lionmane, which we've seen leaked already because someone managed to get hold of a set and try and sell it on eBay. And I'm guessing there may well be other things revealed as well. It always seems to be the case. Maybe there will be some made to orders. But that wasn't it. We had that little tease before the reveal, which got everyone guessing that maybe Beastmen were coming before High Elves, but clearly that wasn't going to be the case, and that is not the case. But we have been shown the first miniature from the Beastman range, which I'm assuming will be coming up after the High Elves. So it looks like it's coming thick and fast for Warhammer the Old World this year. This is Morgar the Shadow Grave in all his glory, with a familiar, which is very cool. I love that these new wizards and mages, magic users for Warhammer the Old World, are coming in these resin sets with the familiar. The new Empire mages are absolutely fantastic, so much character in them, and this miniature looks to be just as glorious. I love it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And then we saw what is, I guess, a bit of a roadmap ahead, showing what has already been released, what's been revealed, and what's to come. And at the bottom of that what's to come, there's a little empty box suggesting another book, and there's lots of speculation online around that, be that Dark Elves. I have a theory myself that Dark Elves were supposed to be part of this game, and it's just my theory based on my own ideas. I generally don't know any reasons why it would be true, other than reading those first couple of pages in the rule book, and they're the only legacy faction that gets a mention in the kind of setting the scene lore. I just can't help but wonder whether at some point when that was written, maybe 5 or more years ago, that they were supposed to be part of the release, and things changed, as we know. So let's briefly delve into that online theory, and you'll have already seen this if you're in the online spaces for Warhammer the Old World. Notice this says core factions and more to come, so I don't think that little blank space is for a different release, so a match play guide, that kind of thing. That maybe it's just the way it's been displayed. But if we're going to assume it's a faction, then what could it be? And a lot of people are suggesting that it's Cathay because of the artwork. Now, if you look in the top corner, or the top half where I've circled there, apparently that matches the artwork silhouette for some of the Cathay artwork, which is quite interesting. I think it's debatable either way. Definitely cool, and it wouldn't put me past the guys to do some kind of fun little reveal there. Definitely the bottom half of that is still the background of the Tomb King's art that's already there as well. So it will be a really cute, fun reveal if that's what they're trying to do. I also think it's entirely possible that it isn't that at all, and that isn't the Cathay artwork, but we still get Cathay. Both things can be true. And they did mention Cathay and Kislev in the original chatter before this game was released, that they were working on them. So we can hope that they are coming for this game, and I hope that's what it is. But I would be also really excited if it was any of the legacy factions, including the aforementioned Dark Elves. But let's see, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on it. But that's it, a pretty short and completely unplanned video, but I really wanted to just share my thoughts, and I've got a lot of other videos coming out at the moment, and there's been no space to squeeze that in. Some of it's already recorded and edited and planned and uploaded, ready for release, so do look out over this weekend for more videos related to Empire, and over the coming weeks for Empire. Look out for that future Seaguard painting tutorial when they arrive. I think it's coming today. I will get to work on them soon as well, so I'll try and get that tutorial out to you all soon. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please do subscribe. There's loads of old world content already, lots of discussion and chat like this, but loads more hobby stuff, painting tutorials, because that's primarily what I do on the channel. So check all those other videos out and the other game systems that are on there as well. But thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.